What's up, guys? So, it's Roy, MHA. I don't know if you watched or ain't know anything about the Sony and the GTA news, but GTA and Sony pretty much digital game only, right? So, a lot of physical games getting nuked in 2028. So, this is a video I found. Let's watch it, see what it's about. Sony nukes the future of physical media on PlayStation, and it sucks. Let's see what they got to say.
No jacket today. I'm ceasing production of my physical jacket. Yeah, I know. That would be stupid. So Sony announced a thing that I'm going to talk about. And this is just going to be my thoughts. If you didn't know it'd be that, welcome to my channel. If you want the thoughts of the in-depth thesis of someone who talks games on the regular, Jake Baldino did a great video on this subject. Link it below, you can check his video out. I mean, after this, of course, come on, stick around for this. Sony announced a lot, really. Sony deleted a few hundred movies and
I remember seeing this. I do remember seeing this. That's crazy work.
shows that people had paid for. Sony also said they're ending PlayStation Store support on the PS Vita and PS3, and also said they are stopping production of physical disc video games. January 2028, so about a year and a half from now, and that ain't long. COVID was 6 years ago. I'm just saying it's gonna fly by. After January 2028, no more physical disc games, it's all digital downloads. It's also called the veil being peeled back from the reality we already live in. PS5 discs exist, sure. But if we're being honest, you put this physical disc in your PS5, you need internet access to install the game, download the rest of it, and play it. For me,
That's the problem. That's why I noticed, like, whenever I switch to next gen, new gen, whatever it's called. I remember back in the day, or like Xbox 360. Shoot, my PS2 never had internet. I ain't gonna lie. I don't know how people played on with PS2, but those were disc games where everything is locally stored. Internet didn't matter. It was just saved. Yeah, so I've liked that better than what we have now. You could put a disc in now on your P5 and the game still won't work. You need internet connection. That's not a truly downloaded game, in my opinion. Like, you don't really have the same kind of, like, I can't say if you can't play online services on the game. I remember a lot of times when my internet was down, you play campaigns for different games. Now you can't access it as a whole, which is crazy work.
the true metric of owning the game is if the internet was gone for whatever reason, can you still put the game in the system and play it? For PS5, well, not really, no. The writing has been on the wall for this for quite some time. Whether it's digital releases coming before the physical release, provoking people to buy the digital release. Switch 2, I mean, entirely different console and company, but that's my point. It's video game companies in general look like they want to move past that pesky little concept of customers and consumers owning what they buy. Consumer ownership, we'll call it. My God, it was true the whole time. GameStop really was power to the play.
Yo, the GameStop in my house dead closed down. They turned to some whole nother store now, bro. I'm like, yo, it's over. Granted, GameStop was trash for the sake of returning games, trading in games. They were always doing people dirty. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I think the most money I ever got back on a game from GameStop was like 20 bucks. 20 bucks. And that was for Minecraft, bro. I had like a stack of games. They were not trying to give me nothing.
Power to the player by sandbag.
But they'll turn around and sell it for double the price.
Bagging the lot of them, one lowball offer, trade-in after another. But some Switch 2 game carts aren't even game carts. They're download codes that allow you to download the game. At this point, the empty GTA 6 box is just called reality. Writing on the wall? Yes. Still sucks to hear? Yes. It's kind of like when the nukes fly, the mushrooms rise, or the robots take over and enslave us all. We can still go, writing was on the wall. Still sucks. And to be clear, I'm not talking about this news in the capacity of, hey, I talk movies on YouTube and video games. It's all about physical media and it bleeds into movies and it's gonna hurt movies too, and that's why I care. No, I love movies and video games. I love movies, I love video games, I love physical media for all of it. And now we all just kinda get to rent it as long as the company owns the rights to keep it around. Meanwhile, Steam's over there like, oh, you guys still have physical copies? I love Steam. Steam is great. It's great to have all your little digital PC games all reconciled in one place. Like, I get the convenience of it. But for the physical media enthusiasts, it's not about the convenience. Whether it's movies, games, music, it's great to have a physical, tangible thing that you pop in, play, and now you're experiencing it. Also, physical discs, in terms of movies, they sound better, they look better. I'm just being real. And this is here's a story. It's a story that really hit me in the face of how important owning the physical media is. I always knew it, but when this hit me, I was like, and that is proof positive. My PlayStation 4 ran into a problem. It was just, it wouldn't load, it wouldn't boot, it wouldn't start, it was stuck in some sort of death loop. Looked into it, I found out I needed this file, I need to put it on a USB, put it into my PlayStation 4, and it would reboot it basically to factory settings. I don't know if basically is the word, I'm pretty sure it was factory settings. Did it, got to log in, any digital games I might have had, I could get back, right? Except, you know what was on that PS4? PT. I lost PT. No longer have it. Anyhow, these scenarios go through my mind when I hear, hey, no more physical media. And yeah, it is a problem that I see in the movie world also. I mean, Best Buy doesn't even sell movies anymore. And it looks like soon Best Buy's not going to sell games anymore. It is funny. It's like these companies test these waters, people push back, and they go, okay.
It's like, no, they test it. It's like companies like this, bro, they do it, test the waters, the outrage of it, still stand to their guns, see if we'll buy in, then they just full throttle it and don't care.
We can't do it in one big...
Like, notice that Sony waited until GTA 6 said digital only for them to say, boom, we're not going to create no more games. Like, that's crazy.
Move, we have to do it with 1,000 cuts and then get them there. Make them feel like it was their idea. Remember the Oblivion DLC? The armor for the horse that you had to buy? People lost their shit over that. How much was it? $5 or something like that? Can't really remember. But the concept was, I already bought the game. Why do I have to spend $5 more on something?
That's the microtrans, bro. GTA, bro. I already heard. Gosh, what should I react to? They are literally making a base version, which I think the $80 version comes with dang near nothing. You're pretty much can't even access certain things within the story mode of the game unless you pay for the $100 version plus, which blow minds because they did that just so they could say our games don't cost $100, it costs $80 with no benefits. It's like, so everybody obviously gonna opt in for the most expensive version to get all of things that come with it. It's not like you're being restricted by any means. Like DLCs normally is like skins, extra things that's not necessarily linked to the primary game. They're literally cutting off access to these things that you're supposed to have with a traditional game, which is crazy. And because GTA 6 is so big, they get away with doing it regardless because they know people want to buy it. And then when they get their way with it, other companies will follow suit.
For the game. Now paying for DLC is just the business model. Microsoft, I believe it was with the Xbox One, they were talking about, hey, what it's going to have. And they said, your game is going to be coded to your profile and you're going to need your disc to play the game, which means you can't trade it to your friend. You can't loan it to your friend. People lost their collective shit. And soon, I imagine we won't even have discs anymore. I'm not just talking about PlayStation. I'm saying across all platforms, which is essentially the same outcome. In 2013, disc is bound to your profile via disc. Controversial. 2028, game is bound to your profile because it's a digital download. Only in the 15 years since 2013, we've been climatized to see it as, well, that's just the way it is. Even limited run games can't be grinning like John Lovitz in The Wedding Singer on this. If the PlayStation 6 won't even play discs, don't know, but I imagine it won't. What point is there for a company to make a physical version of the game? Guess they gotta go back to re-releasing Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, Game Gear. I mean, I'm down for all that. I feel like gaming now is like the dinner scene in Hook. Gen Z's out there happily gaming in their digital world. I'm like, there's nothing here. And it's in the wake of Sony saying they're dropping support for the PS Vita and the PS3. Is you start to think, because any digital games for the Vita, for example, you just won't be able to get anymore. Kind of like in the Wii shop, they came out with a new Contra game and a remake of one of the Castlevania games for Game Boy, but it was a full remake. But if you missed it, you missed it. The Wii shop's gone now. If you missed them, too bad. I got the Contra game, I never got the Castlevania game. I didn't know about it. Relating that to this news, is it possible for a console generation with all digital games to hit that same wall, to run into a scenario where you just can't get the games anymore? Maybe you can download the ones you already bought, but what about the ones you slept on? You're like, oh, I heard that was cool. I'd like to get that now. Oh, the store's gone. I just can't. Are you gonna have to rely on the inevitable, let's be honest, PS7 and PS8 remasters of the PS6 games? Are there gonna be differences in those remasters as opposed to the PS6 version? Maybe people want to play the PS6 version. Maybe it was a little better for some reason. If these remasters remasters have taught us anything, some are awesome.
Some are not.
The originals are better. Will you still be able to download your PS6 games long after the PS6 console generation? Is it going to be subscription based going forward? Yeah, in 2040 you can play your PS6 games. You can stream them on the PS8 for a price if you have PlayStation Plus Gold Plus. It's a thing where, I mean, we always knew how to play old games. You just get the old gear and plug them in. Or you get new systems and new gear made to play old cartridges and you plug them in and you play them. I just don't like a world where you don't know how long you'll be able to play these games. More to the point, you'll only be able to play these games as long as the company supports you being able to play those games. So the ball's in their court for your gaming experience. It's an uncertain future. I don't like it. But hey, maybe the PS6 generation is a good time for me to step back. Play those back catalogs of retro games that I've yet to beat. Bring on that Commodore 64, baby. You pre-order your Commodore callback flip phone? I did. When I'm out there in the world, I aim to experience the world without doom scrolling. I'm unplugging. Anyhow, those are my thoughts. This video game scenario.
Well, that's pretty much that video. I think it ultimately does suck that the route we're going with digital gaming in general. Like, for one, we're dealing with a RAM shortage, memory shortage. Well, I'm not sure about RAM, but everything component-wise for making PCs, gaming, anything related to gaming is expensive through the roof, right? So, like, for instance, I have a Steam Deck, right? Thank God I got one. I did. I spent like $700 on it. That thing is priced at $1,000 now. So it's like gaming, and that's probably a coin thing everybody's saying, is literally a luxury now. Like, people used to play games for the sake of, like, it's the easy thing to do. It's a hobby. This is expensive hobby not to get into, which is crazy. Because not only you have to pay for expensive console that's overpriced, and then on top of it being overpriced, you're dealing with scalpers that's going to bump it up more because of the AI shortage and all that. Not AI shortage, but what the shortages AI is creating. So you have that to deal with. Then you have expensive games to deal with. Then you have to have subscriptions to play the expensive games. And then you have what they're doing to move things digitally. I heard PlayStation do something where it's like, if you're not active for 36 months, you lose ownership of some type of game you own, or whatever it is. I'm not sure, temporary access and whatnot. But it making it so you own nothing and have no control over anything. And if you fall out of order with what they want, boom, you don't have access anymore. They already did that with the movies, as you can see. You own, like, I think Crunchyroll did something like this with Funimation. Or Funimation did something. I think Crunchyroll bought Funimations, right? People that own digital movies, shows through Funimations, gone, wiped. Now, I don't know if they did anything now, because it was a little minute ago. But when that happened, it was like, yeah, it was over. So when they talk about the PlayStation movies, you own it digitally, gone, no access. It's like, yo, no refund, no nothing. Like, you're screwed. So, I don't know. It's very weird. I think physical media is the only way to go. Or even then, you're limited because you can't get in the new stuff. So it's like, where do you even go from here,